two ways. So we thought today it would be helpful. This is late October of 2024 to talk about how we're going to handle the holidays because, it all starts on October 31st. So let's start there. Yes, we have candy in this house because we do have some trick-or-treaters, and it is hidden. So it is what it is. I know people are coming, so we have it. The other thing is I'm a planner to the hilt, and anybody watching this video who knows me at all knows that that's the way I am. So I already have the Thanksgiving and the Christmas dinner menu planned. And so that's why we thought it would be really fun to tell you how we're handling it. So I am the only whole food plant-based eater in the family. We are hosting. We have 3 family members coming to our house, and they will be here over the entire Thanksgiving weekend. They'll come on Wednesday, leave on Monday. So probably a couple years ago, one thing I did to help in general is everybody's on their own for breakfast. I have all the things. So we have chickens, so there'll be eggs. Sometimes I'll make a big pot of oatmeal, and anybody else who wants it can have it. But everybody's on their own for breakfast, except for one time I make these cinnamon roll pancakes. And yes, that's a video that will be coming. So, and then lunches we usually tend to eat our bigger meal at lunch. So for us on Thanksgiving, we will be having that probably by 12 o'clock so that then we have time to digest all that food. So our menu this year is ham and a, what is that called? Hash brown casserole, green beans. We all eat. My mom makes pickled beets, which 4 of the 5 of us eat. I'll have some sort of little salad for us. And then I am making a mushroom shepherd's pie for myself, but my mom and my uncle also eat mushrooms, so they are welcome to have that too. So we have simplified it because if last year we did turkey, right? And we did 2 kinds of mashed potatoes. We did 2 kinds of gravy. And I just felt like, why are we doing all that when we can just simplify? Now, I talked to everybody and everybody was just fine with it. They understand how much this lifestyle is helping me and not having the migraines. So they were all willing to do that. And at Christmas time, we're going to do a turkey. Joe he butterflies it on the grill and cooks it, and he brines it and everything. But to, avoid all the different mashed potatoes and everything, we're going to do baked potatoes in the oven. The really good ones that are in there for like an hour, the big baked potatoes, and then have a bunch of veggies and everything. So we are adapting it some. And because if the stuff to make the desserts are in the house, I will eat them. We are covering dessert there's a local vegan bakery, and she makes this delicious Biscoff cake. And so I got a 6-inch one. It's on order. I don't have it yet. So and Joe likes it. My mom's had it. I mean, we all like it. But then we're just going to buy a pie from Sam's Club. That way, nobody has to do that. There's only 3 of them that eat pie. My mom doesn't even eat pie. So we are simplifying. So not only will it keep everyone on their goals, but also so that we can enjoy the holiday together. We like to play cards. Mom and I have started a new tradition of going on a 4K turkey trot with our church in the morning. So this will give us the chance to do that, but keep me on goal. Because the last thing I want is, I got to start again on Monday. That's not what I want to happen, because I also don't want to end up with a migraine that weekend, which would be terrible. What do you have to say on that?
So basically, we've gone over the menu. I'm going to kind of back us back up a little bit to talk about why we chose the items we did. Obviously, keeping with what most people, typical Thanksgiving meal is obviously your turkey or ham, mashed potatoes, some sort of potato, green bean casserole, stuffing, whatever other, maybe another vegetable. We didn't want to get away from that, but you can make, like, the hash brown casserole can easily be adapted to fit her diet, but yet it's still very, no one's really going to complain. As long as there's a potato on the plate, we're okay with it. Of course, green beans I'm assuming you're just doing regular.
Yeah, green beans with onions and cooked all, for several hours.
But if you did the green bean casserole, I know the fried onions that you put on top have a breading, and they may or may not be good for you, but you can adapt it a little bit so you're still getting healthiness in there, but yet at the same time. And of course, rolls are very traditional in our Thanksgiving meal. Salads, probably good chance I might just skip the salad portion, but that's okay. The options out there. And of course, we'll probably get like an apple pie, traditional apple pie, and the three of us, four of us will probably have a bit of that. The Biscoff cake, like she said, it's very good. I like it. And to be honest, I'm not that heavy on wanting the dessert part, maybe later in the afternoon. Because, like she said, we tend to eat earlier in the day because you get up in the morning. The first thing you're doing is kind of getting something light going, coffee and maybe toast or whatever. You don't want to eat a whole lot because you're saving yourself for the meal. But then, of course, you throw on the parades and all that stuff on TV to watch, which hopefully we're getting back to that after all the stuff that happened the last few years. But and like stuffing, I don't think there's anything about stuffing really that doesn't fit her diet plan as well.
As long as you use veggie broth, that will be fine.
That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
I know some people like using that turkey broth, but because we're doing a ham, we're not going to have a broth to draw from. So, and even at Christmas time, like she said, when I cut the backbone out and lay the turkey out and put it on the grill, I'm not gathering any broth or juices from that. So whatever juices are in the bird are going to be in the bird when we carve it up. So using a vegetable broth, I mean, I can guarantee you could put water or whatever in there. I'm not really tasting the stuffing for the sake to say, oh my gosh, there's turkey broth in here or whatever. But that makes it so much simpler. But on top of just, like she said earlier, it's that time of the year. We're not only forced to pick what we need to do for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but you got about every holiday party. You got people going to, what do they call them? Friendsgivings. Mm-hmm. I know at my job, we'll probably have at least 2 potlucks that you have to go to. Now, for me, most people bring a dish that obviously they like. I can list at probably at least 4 to 5 dishes that I know Sheila makes that fit her diet that I would eat hands down without even a fuss. So I recommend to her to take these kind of dishes in. Don't make an issue of it being it's vegetarian, it's not vegan, it's not. Just say it's whatever soup or whatever.
It's lasagna soup or it's stuffing.
And people will never know that there's not meat in there as long as this just tastes good. You could have a vegetable soup and nobody would probably question it, and they would have a bowl of it with whatever other items they got. But it gives her the opportunity to have something guaranteed there that she can enjoy, mm-hmm. and not worried about oils or some sort of broth or whatever it might have been cooked in that might affect her. So you have those other temptations. And of course, not only that, you got people coming over. You might be going to, a lot of households, if you're younger and you've got kids and you're going to grandma's house. Well, nowadays you might have 5 or 6 grandma and grandpas, depending on the dynamic of your household. That's a lot of eating to do. And that's a lot of having to make dishes, and you don't want to be eating the same thing over and over. If you go to all these different festivities, you want to be able to break it up and have something that's enjoyable, but also have something that fits what everybody else wants too. So you don't feel like you're setting yourself aside compared to what everybody else is eating as well. Everybody's enjoying all the food around wherever you can.
So I started this lifestyle August 24th of 2023. We didn't start the videos until January of 2024. So this is my second holiday season. And again, it went fine. We co-host his big Christmas party for his family at the church. And I think I made a soup last year, and I knew I could have that. If there was nothing else, I at least had something substantial that had a decent amount of calories to get through all the games and the talking. It's a 3 or 4 hour event, and it worked well. At work, I just keep a lot of fruit in my office, And when we get a lot of those treats in from vendors and things like that, there's just sometimes I just literally avoid the kitchen and I'll eat at my desk or I'll leave the building and go eat in my car because it is tempting and you get stressed. And sometimes you're like, oh, I'll just have that. But for me, that doesn't work because I don't know when to stop. My mom can stop. I can't. And I know that about myself now that I've been through one whole season. And so I know what I can and I cannot do. The other thing is, we've talked about it before, stock your fridge, stock your freezer, because you know that you're going to have weeks where you're going to be coming home late or you're not going to have much time to food prep on the weekends. And if you've got some taco soup in the fridge or you've got a lasagna in there, then you've got something you can pull out, put in the oven, and you won't have to not stay on your current track just because you've had a bad day or a busy day. So I highly suggest you just do a little bit of planning. I literally have gone through the next 2 months and started thinking about what could I do ahead to make it easier while I have the time, because I know what's coming. And I've also tried to be very strict about my time. I'm not going to do 5 events in 1 week. Somebody's going to get told no. And last year for one event, I actually brought my own food. And at the end of the day, no one cared. We were there to socialize and have fun and play games. And once the eating was over and the food got put away, no one even cared. We just kept on doing. And I felt healthy at the end of the night and not worried I was going to wake up with a migraine because I caved and could have gotten myself sick. So
I know another idea that is going along with what Sheila says, because it's such a busy time. And when you got kids and school events and all these different things going on, we've been down that road years ago before we are now empty nesters. You get down to these points. Back then, there wasn't a lot of option for people that chose this diet plan, but I started her on a few test runs on some of these. You can buy them at Aldi. Has a couple of flavors. And I learned this from a coworker who eats more of a vegan, but he chooses just sometimes he wants something quick and easy. And you can buy these vegan dried packets of food. It's a dinner. It might be
the one you got me was quinoa and black beans. It was like a Southwest quinoa bowl.
Yeah.
It's what like hikers would take. So it's all dry.
But you just add hot water to it. So when you're having these busy nights and you got to get something going because you got to turn around and get your kids to, a holiday event or trick or treating,
yeah,
whatever it might be, to have one of those, she can have that, heat the water up in her tea kettle, pour it in there. You let it sit for about 15, 30 minutes.
7 minutes, stir, and then another 7.
And then you can be eating your meal as quick as, I can run in there and grab some leftovers. I can be eating easy. But for her to have an option that's something that's different, and, I tested her on it. I wanted to see if they were even any good and worth trying. And she really liked it. There's some, it talks about how much water to add. You got to kind of tweak it to how you like it. Because at the time we were
in Cleveland on vacation, so I was trying them then because I had I want cooking rule so that I could get a break, and I tried it then, and I didn't actually have a measuring cup, so I was eyeballing their teacup, and I think maybe I eyeballed too much. That's why I was laughing, is they were a little more soupy than I would like, but it's still good.
But it's but she said that she really enjoyed it, and now we know we can kind of invest in some of that, not just for the nights when you really have slot going on, you got to get home, get changed, get dinner on the table, and then get out to whatever event. But you also, for us, we go camping. Mm-hmm. These are easy meals. I mean, I can easily go grab a pack of steaks, some hamburger, hot dogs, and I'm good for a week. But in her case, to have some variety and not eating the same thing over and over, or not eating a salad day after day after day, this gives her the option, because she can make oatmeal in 3 or 4 different ways. And if she doesn't want oatmeal, she's got a couple other options. And these are things that can be done in one pot, one simple thing, easy clean up, and you're done with it. I'd recommend them. And I don't eat them, but based off of her, I trust her taste buds, and obviously if she enjoys it, chances are good that you will too if you like those ingredients like quinoa. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's not a quinoa fan, so that was a no deal for him. So, but yeah,
But other than
it's just, you can manage it if you do a little bit of planning. And if we all have it, if something happens and you do eat something, maybe you didn't know it had something in it, or maybe you just were like, you know what, I want that pecan truffle and I'm going to eat it and I'm okay with that decision, then just the very next meal, get back to whatever it is that you need to do, whether it is whole food, plant-based, whether it's keto, whatever it is, because nobody wants to come to January 1st and realize for the past 2 months you've not been taking care of yourself. And that's what it's more about, because I know if I stand up for myself and take care of myself, I am much better to deal with all the stress and everything around me. On the days that I don't take care of me, that's the days I react the way I'm not very proud of for whatever the situation is. So that is my point of the video, is do what you need to do to take care of yourself, because that's important, and get some movement in, because that makes a huge difference. Mom doing that turkey trot with me last year, and now we're doing it again this year. I'm excited about, because we're walking it together, we're doing it together, and then we'll probably walk after we eat too, because we like to walk. But we don't want to make this too long. We're already at 16 minutes. That's what we've been looking at. We haven't been texting. We're just kind of seeing where we are. So we'd love to hear your tips of how you stay on whatever plan it is. What are your tricks to get you through this very stressful time so that you can still enjoy it? That's what we would like to know. So do you have anything else before we close out?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for joining us. We certainly are very thankful for you supporting us. 10 months of videos now. And we look forward to all the future videos that we'll be able to share with you guys. So thanks for joining us on One Dish, Two Ways. Have a good week.